Hello and welcome. So I am going to take a look at the Times Quick Cryptic Crossword, and this is being published on Friday the 1st of August 2025. Welcome to August. And Asceta is Asp. Now that's a name that slightly fills me with dread because funnily enough Asp is the crossword editor, and while he must edit every single crossword that goes across his path, and yet he in himself has been a very tough setter. Last year particularly averaged 33 minutes for his puzzles. This year it's been a bit quicker. 37 minutes, 27 minutes aren't quick, but then the last two puzzles have been 14 and 17 minutes. But I'm looking at this grid thinking portcullis grid, which is tough, no help on these starters, and it's a Friday, so I think this is going to be a bit of a trial. Time to reset timeout and crack on. One can't fly after Heathrow checks. One can't fly after Heathrow checks. Constituency with small majority in the borders. Bully about to run after man. Bully about to run after man. No. Fighting almost tore apart densely populated area. Fighting almost tore apart. Feels like there should be an anagram in there. On tore apart. Densely, no. Beginning of days, always witness dawn. Now I've got one. Beginning of dawn. Acrostic. You're in trouble when that's all you can get. Play acting up to age 9 starts to create empathy. Well, I assume that starts to create empathy is a CE. So we've got a word for play acting. Up to age 9 is pretense. Good. Yeah, that's okay. Wrong-headed way to read poetry. I feel like this should be inverse or adverse, but there's too many letters. Wrong-headed. No. Spot check. Spot check. That's obviously a definition, but 60% of algorithms altered text praising God. 6% of algorithms is, gosh, how much? Well, it can't be. 60% would be 3/10 of that word. Algorithms, algori. That is 10 letters. Okay, so it's an anagram of algorithms. Well, it's an anagram of 60% of algorithms. Wow. Praising God. Hymns? No. Psalms? No. Glorification? No. Don't know. Need some letters. Military intelligence officer in contact with post. MI officer in contact with poet. Sorry. I think that's Milton, isn't it? MILT. The lieutenant in contact with is on. Yep, it's on the road or something. I chuckle about Taylor is a. I shouldn't have said my chortle. My word for tailors, well, it could be to tailor as opposed to a tailor. The tailor is to, I'm not sure. Head of faculty, area included in study. It's a dean and a den, isn't it? Okay, don't mind that one. Tie required in Oxford, but not Wellington. So you got tie required in Oxford. Oxford shoe, Oxford brogue, but not Wellington. Wellington boot. Okay, that's what it's doing. It's Oxford shoes and Oxford brogues and Wellington boots. Tie required in Oxford, but not Wellington. No idea what that is. Wellington, Duke of Wellington. Singer and old lady right at home. Ma in. Singer. Old lady's Ma. Omarin. Oh, old lady is normally Ma. Right at home should be Rin, but I can't see what that is. Singer. Share. Ripe romp could be seen as this. I think that's only ripe romp, isn't it? Could be seen as this is Emperor. Okay, charted road going northeast and west. Charted road going north. DR Drew, very good, very nice. That's a clever clue. Give you that one. Transfic, reader originally entertained by article. Well, you'd think that's TH. Reader would be reader originally entertained by article. By Okay, English boy raised in Valley. Dale, Elad, good. Remove broadcast about all time to come. Looks like it should be an emission or broadcast. Is that anagram? Could be an anagram. Remove time to come. If that were to be re for about at the end, no, it can't be all about all. Not sure. Type punishment for petty officer, corporal. Fair enough. Don't mind clues like that. Truth is really breached by IT. Really. Reality, I suppose. Okay. No. It's not reality. Retail. There's an IT in there somewhere, but really, truth. Really. Not sure. Okay. Tune, millions yodel badly. That's just an angle of that, isn't it? Which is melody. Fair enough. Flower I planted in lines close to rockery. Rose. Flower I planted in lines. Lily. Okay, very good. Land mass is receding within America's border. Is must be a hidden word, mustn't it? Oh. Land mass. Is there Asia in there somewhere? America's borders. Yeah, Asia. The borders of America are A and A. Right, well that hasn't gone too badly, not too great either. One can't fly after Heathrow checks. I don't know what Heathrow checks, what to do with Heathrow. That would normally suggest to me there's a hidden word or an anagram going there somewhere, but can't see that. Checks makes me think it might be a shortening of something, but constituency with small majority in the borders. Constituency is part in the borders. Bully about to run after man. Fighting almost tore apart densely populated area. Densely populated area with a W. Can't see that. What's this then? Sport. Spot check. Check is to mark. Mark. Yeah, you check sometimes what you mark your work. I suppose a spot is a mark. I think. That one I can't figure out. So this one, wrong-headed way to read poetry. Way could be an ST, I suppose. So look at this one. 6% of algorithms, oh gosh. Altered text, praising God. Is that Gloria? Or does it just take the first 6 of it? Okay, I think that's probably what it is, isn't it? The first 60%. Okay, that's not so difficult, not just any 60%. Algorithm. Gloria, I think, is the word there. Not entirely sure. I chortle about. Oh gosh. It's got to be a ch, okay, isn't it? Ch. Sorry, cla. Got an H in there somewhere, an R, an E. Clother? Clothier, I think that is. Clothier. Is that really a word? Apparently it is. I don't mind. It's a bit rare, but I don't mind it. Okay, so about all to come. Maybe that is something I'm going to remove. Evermore. Okay. I've got that corner done. This, I feel like that's going to be verse. Oh, that's verity, isn't it? Very and verity. Yes. Yeah, if I can spell verity, it'd be even better. So that probably is verse going in there. That must be universe. Universe? No. Wrong-headed way to read poetry. Inverse. Converse. Con is... I think that's converse. Not entirely sure. I'll leave that like that. Tie required in Oxford, but not Wellington. No idea what to do there. If that is a something O. Okay, the right romp. Yeah, that's pretty ER, isn't it? Let's write that down. Right romp. I'm not sure if it's going to help me to write it down or not, but romp. Get rid of PER, I think. Which leaves me Mopia. Promia. Could be seen as this. Improper. There we are. Improper. Seems a reasonable word. Constituency with small majority in the borders. Is small majority Maj? M-A-J? Constituency with small majority. Well, it's an S, I suppose. Maybe that's saying S. Constituency is... not sure. This bunch. Transfix reader originally entertained by article. Entertained would suggest to me it's a word going into, but then reader originally would just be an R, going into article transfixes to engaze or something, enchant. So I'll get this one. Bully about to run after man. There's a run for R, there's an R for run as well. I don't know if that's not written, do I? Singer and old lady right at home. Well, at home is normally in. I'll give myself that much. Port is right. Old lady Mar. Let's put MA there for Mar. Martin. Yeah, Martin. R. I don't know who that singer is. Is that Chris Martin from Coldplay? One can't fly after Heathrow checks. Ah, hidden word. Rear. I did say it could be a hidden word. I just didn't go looking for it properly. Tie required in Oxford, but not Wellington. Bully about to run after man. Bully. Biffer. Could be talk, couldn't it? Man would be son, lad, gent, chap. Bully. Hector. Is it like badger? Is it a word like bully? Hector. He. Yeah, about to. He, C, T, oh gosh, wow. Hector, wow. Okay, so what is this? Tie required in Oxford. But not Wellington. Not sure if I know what this is going to be, golly. It just doesn't look very H, something E, something A, something. I'm not sure about that last letter really, but even then, tie required in Oxford, needed. Oxford is a shoe, isn't it, really? Shoe. Horn? No, shoe. So Oxford is a shoe, I think. In which case that can't be Converse, can it? But if... Oh, actually. I required shoe. But not Wellington. Because if I put OE there, that gives me AOE. That doesn't look very reasonable, does it? And then I've still got to work out what that is. I'm sure wrong-headed must be Converse. I can't think of any other words ending in verse that can fit, really. Tie required in Oxford. But not Wellington. Shoehorn is the only word I think of really that would fit, and that isn't going to be, because we know, at least we know dawn is correct for as a acrostic. Quite Oxford. Mate, isn't shoe then? Cheetahs. Cheetahs fits. I don't think that's really the word though. Let's have a look at this one. Constituency with small majority in the borders. Densely populated area is fighting is a war. W. So anagram of that. War of tore. Is it tore apart? Tore apart. Rent. Warrant. Warren. Okay. Warren. There we are. Transfix reader original. There's my E. R. Is that THE? Don't think that's going to be a word, is it? Originally entertained by article. If that was H, T something H, R H E, doesn't really look right. TH. Let's have a look at that. Marsh. Constituency. Marsh. Marshman. Marsh. Land. Merchant. Doesn't quite fit. To transfix. What is to transfix? Is to snare, snarl. An article doesn't have to be a, an, or the. It could be some kind of article in a newspaper, column. Constituency could be an area of land, but it could also be like, what's the constituency of that? What constitutes that? What's the makeup of something? Small majority is an edge. In the borders. Right, I'm going to pause the video so while I think about these to myself. Come back at last. Gosh, that was 5 minutes. Suddenly thought of borders as margins, and finally got that to be marginal. Marginal, yeah, because this is more is a marginal, which means this. I don't know. I haven't looked at this yet. Transfix transfix is to reader originally, so that's probably the R. Could be another R in there somewhere, but I think it's probably the R. Originate by article, so article I think is not going to be a, an, or the. It's going to be an article for writing things. To transfix is to... I can't think. My brain is not working today at all. Just seems to be staring at things, not actually doing them. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but today it is at this level. Transfix is to... Title? No. Transfix is to... I can't think of a word for transfix at all, other than to kind of engage, ensnare someone in your gauge. So there we go. Right, I'm going to go back to pausing and thinking to myself and so on. Alphabet trolling. Transfix. I think it's to pierce, because an article is a piece. Okay, I wasn't getting that. So really, this is just my last one down, assuming that converse is right. I think reading the clue, there's no other way to really interpret that. What this is looking at. I keep thinking of Wellington, something to do with New Zealand. It's obviously capital of New Zealand, isn't it? And whether it's just some kind of place in New Zealand, Otago or something, and tag kind of fitting there. Shutago, but where the O is coming from, don't think we've got a hidden word. Oxford. I just can't really. I mean, it looks too easy to put shoe there. But Oxford. But then the surface of the clue is really kind of heading towards talking about Oxford brogues, Oxford shoes, and Wellington boots. Obviously, you lace up shoes, but you don't. That was lace, shoelace. They are. So that isn't Converse, is it? That's yeah. It literally, what that must be revealed. What's this then? Perverse. Way. Perverse. Wrong-headed. I think that's perverse. I'm going with it. Yes, 32-37. Wow. Asp is back to form. Okay. Wow. Right. I think my general commentary there is that it's too hard for the QC. And one of the ways I look at it is if you look at a clue like, well, Hector or Pierce. Yeah, Hector as a synonym for bully. If you said to the average person on the street, give me a synonym for bully, how long would it take you to get down to Hector? You know, it must be about the 8th or 9th definition in the dictionary. Likewise, transfix to pierce. I mean, transfix engage, pierce engage, yes. You've got to go a long way down the dictionary to get to that synonym, I think, for most people. So that to me is my definition. Warren for densely populated area, yeah. I mean, it's all rare, but Gloria, Milton, it's a bit hard, I think. Martin, I'm telling you, Martin is. It's not Chris Martin. It's just a bird, isn't it? Right, let's go through. One can't fly, so the rhea is a famous flightless bird, which is a hidden word in across after Heathrow. Checks is your hidden word indicator. Got a constituency. Sorry, excuse me. Constituency with a small majority is called a marginal. That's just a political term. And in the borders is saying, is it something to do with margins? Is it marginal? So it's kind of a cryptic hint towards the answer. To bully is to hector. Right, we've got about is C for circa. 2 is in the clue. And R for run, going after a man, which is he. Fighting is a war. Almost torn apart is rent without the T, so almost rent. Take the T off gives you warren, which is a densely populated area. So think of like, they say it's a bit of a rabbit warren. Got a acrostic here, which is also probably not and literally all in one. Beginnings of is saying it's an acrostic. Days always witnessed, now DAWN, but beginnings is also the of days is also the definition really. Play acting up to the age of 9. Play acting is a pretense. Up to the age of 9 is pre-10. And then starts to create empathy is the C and the E. Wrong-headed is perverse. Way to read poetry. Well, obviously poetry is a verse. Per. I don't really know where the per comes from that. You read it one verse at a time per verse. Yeah, not really sure about that bit. Must be a double dash here. A mark is a spot, and if you mark someone's work, you're checking their work as such. Take the first 60% of algorithms, which is the ALGORI, and then alter it, i.e. anagram it, and Gloria is text praising God. Military intelligence is MI, officer is a lieutenant, and then in contact with is on. So your car is in contact with the road, it's on the road, and a poet is Milton. I chortle is an anagram of clothier, about is your anagram indicator, and a clothier is a tailor. Head of faculty is the dean, A for area included in study, which is a den. Made very hard work of this one, didn't I? A tie regarded in Oxford, but not Wellington, so yeah, shoelace. Okay, so I actually looked at that the wrong way because Oxford and Wellington are places, aren't they? But I was immediately realising we were talking about Oxford shoes and Wellington boots. So yeah, in an Oxford shoe you need a shoelace, but in a Wellington boot you just pull along because there's no laces. Singer is a Martin, so that's the bird, not Chris Martin from Coldplay. I think he was on the brain after the recent shenanigans at his concert. Old lady is Ma. Right is RT. Don't see that version quite so often. And at home is in. Ripe romp is an anagram of improper, and could be seen as this. Well, ripe romp could be seen as improper. Charted. Charted is drew. You drew up a chart. Road going north. So RD. So DR, and then east and west. Transfix, you've got transfixing gaze, you've got a piercing gaze. A reader originally is the R of reader, entertained by an article, which is a piece in the newspaper. E for English, boy is a lad, raised, so put them upwards, coming downwards, they become a dale, which is a valley. Remove, it's an anagram of remove, broadcast is your anagram, and then about, so I'm writing to you about this matter, this matter on the ender, and all time to come is evermore. Wow, what a definition that is. Type of punishment, corporal punishment, and a petty officer is also a corporal. Truth is verity. Just scroll up there. Truth is verity. I think it's the Latin word for it. And then is really is very. That's really very naughty. Really very good. Very good. So really is very. Breached by IT for information technology. Tune is a melody. M for millions. And then we've got an anagram of yodel. Badly is your anagram indicator. The flower is a lily. We've got I is in the clue planted into lines. So we've got two L's for lines. And then the close to rockery is a Y. The landmass is Asia. We've got is receding. So IS going upwards. Within America's borders, which are A and A. The A started and A to end it. So there we go, all done. 32, 37. I mean, just looking at that puzzle, there's some words in there you really never want to face. If you're a 15 by if you're a quick cryptic, probably fair enough for the big guns, but There you go. Right, um, that's all I've got to say on it, really. Thanks for watching.